So the thing about music in sports that stands out for me, it's kind of a two-part answer here. It's firstly, there's a lot of it. But also, despite the fact that there is a lot of it, it's not background noise. There's a very strong, very focused narrative, and it's exciting. You know, it's the fuel that's driving any one of a number of moments in a game. And it's the music that sells the emotion of the moment because you're storytelling. And it's turning something that is very 3D and very tangible and very emotionally charged. You know, there's a stadium with 50,000 people right there, and you're recreating that excitement for the fans at home. Now, all music sets a tone, sure, but the music that's in sports has to not just match the intensity of the game, or a particular moment in the game, but elevate it to the screen. It's interesting because in movies and in trailers, it's always this idea of music for the big screen. Like you're taking a small moment and you're elevating it and you're making it huge so it fills, that 200-foot screen or whatever size it is. But in sports, you're taking a huge moment and you're translating it for a much smaller screen in someone's living room or nowadays on someone's phone. And you're trying to convey that same excitement and that same sense of being there, of belonging. So in any broadcast of sports, there is a third team that no one sees playing but is vitally important. And they're the ones who are getting the excitement and the action into the broadcast. They're taking what's playing on the field and they're translating it into something that's beaming into the homes of millions of people, right? And live TV is no joke. It's hard. And music, of course, it can't change how something looks, but it can 100% change how something feels. And that's why we've spent so much time, not just on the energy of the music and the emotional content of the Rival catalogue, but actual assets themselves as well. So that when you're in the edit bay, and time's not on your side, let's be honest, it rarely is, with Rival you have the best possible options for music, and you have them in a shape that can just drop into a timeline. Fair question, what does Rival sound like? It's powerful, it's epic, and it's kind of unrelenting. It's that perfect combination of cinematic drama and raw, competitive energy. It doesn't really matter what the genre is, whether it's orchestral, whether it's hip-hop, whether it's rock or EDM, whatever the genre, the Rival catalogue is built for the biggest moments in the sporting calendar. I am really excited by what Rival is doing. It is up to the ante for sports broadcasters by delivering music that for the first time is built for broadcast. We haven't just made a library, we have engineered a tool here. Every track is structured for seamless use. It's designed for maximum impact, and it's delivered in a way that makes life easier for producers. There's no wasted time, there's no filler, there's just high impact music ready to drop in at any moment. You can probably tell what I'm going to say here, but I think that any moment is going to be better with music from Rival. Whether it's a last-second shot, a walk-off home run, or, that great moment where the underdog comes out on top. Imagine swapping out whatever generic track is in there and dropping in a cue from Rival. That's the difference between a highlight and a legendary moment. I think one thing that people get wrong about sports music is thinking that it's just intense music, but it's so much more than that. Sports music is about storytelling. It's the heartbeat and it's the soul of the broadcast. It's the difference between a moment you watch and a moment that you never forget. So my background in trailer music is all about creating maximum impact in a short amount of time. And that same energy and that same ethos drives every album in the Rival catalogue. Every track is designed to grab you instantly, just designed to build tension and just explode at the right moment. It's cinematic, it's powerful, and simply it's built for competition. So I'm not going to look backwards on this question, but I'm going to look forwards, I think. If I could put one rival track into a historic sports moment, it's going to be something from our fanfare album called Brass and Glory. And I'm going to put it into the 2028 Olympic Games. They're right here in LA. I think that moment is going to deserve something enormous, something regal, and something that just sounds like the unfolding of destiny. You know, it's music that speaks to the best of humanity and of sports doing that thing that sports does best, which is unite people. And we have built the sound for that. So Rival isn't just another sports music library, it's built by industry veterans who have spent years creating the sound of competition. Between myself, Jeff Rona, and our team of composers, we have worked on some of the biggest music-driven campaigns out there. And this is a fresh take on sports music created by people who live in this world. Okay, so we're in LA, right? And you cannot help but be surrounded by legendary sports moments. We've got the Lakers, we've got the Dodgers, we've got the Rams, and we've got loads of teams. And these teams don't just play, they put on a show. And that's exactly how we approach Rival. It's not about soundtracking a game, it is about elevating every moment that happens on the pitch, on the field, in the stadium, wherever, and making it feel like a Hollywood blockbuster and making sure that it translates to the screens at home as well. There is a difference between writing music for trailers and writing music for sports. And it's a subtle one, but I think it's an important one. Basically, with trailers, you're writing to make perhaps a smaller moment as big as possible. You're just trying to just get as much attention and get through that 2.5 minutes, however long the trailer is going to be. Sometimes, way shorter nowadays. But with sports, you're trying to take something that is already huge, a huge moment, that's full of emotion, full of energy, and people are really invested in it, and you are translating what's happening in a stadium with tens of thousands of people, and you're translating that through music into something that someone's probably watching on their phone, like on the bus or on the TV at home. It's sort of the same problem but approached from an opposite side, and it's a fascinating one, and I think we have really done something special with Rival, with how we've curated and created it, and kind of importantly how we've delivered it with all these extra assets and all these kind of building blocks that allow editors and allow producers to throw it into a live sports program with ease. It's pretty cool. I think the important thing to think about when you're writing music for sports is you're not writing music for sports. That might sound silly, but you're writing music for people. You have to understand where the music's going to go. You should watch sports. You should understand the flow of the game, the tension. The flow of the broadcast is actually very important, because there's so much more that happens in a broadcast, say of an NFL game, than happens if you're just watching it in the stands. It's not just about making something hype. It's about making something that fits each moment just perfectly. We are already working on new albums, expanding the sound and finding even more ways to push the boundaries of music and sports. Our goal is to be the go-to music source for sports broadcasting, be it for local networks to the biggest stages in the world. We're here.